This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 978, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando, back safe and sound. Happy to be with you guys. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Just for another day. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
From Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What's happening?
And from my garage, from originally from Orlando, currently living in San Diego, but visiting. Please welcome Gabrielle Griffin sitting in today.
Hi, guys.
We decided a long time ago that we tried to record local whenever staffers were in town. We tried to record here in my office, but there was too much mic bleed, so we tried to separate. So Gabs was like, I'm gonna go to the garage. It's nice and toasty in there. She doesn't like to be chilly. So.
Florida.
He makes fun of me because I get cold easily, and I'm like, no, I'll be good. You have air conditioning in your garage. It's
I do.
great.
Nah, his house is a freezer. That joint
I
is.
know. I
Man,
know.
it's-
One
I was an
big
icicle.
One
Yeah.
big meat
Yeah.
locker. Guys, I feel like before we jump into the pod, I just need to address
Yeah.
the elephant in the room.
What's
happening
that?
right now? Cameron,
I don't know.
you just got back from a trip.
I did.
A cruise, which we're going to we want to hear about, but we're going to presume it was delightful despite your lack of internet connectivity.
That is true.
We were very concerned. We had assumed that you were either having a fantastic time or that, we would never see you again and that, you were somehow lost at sea.
Wouldn't it have
Because
made the
you
national
went
news? I don't know, because we didn't have live TV, but wouldn't it have made the national news if the ship went missing? I heard about
These
y'all's
days, who knows?
concern.
I don't know.
These days, who knows? Honestly, I mean, yeah, it could have been a lost type of situation. You could have been, entered through some weird portal on some weird island. We just didn't know. That was the thing, the uncertainty.
Yeah.
But we're all back in the saddle today.
Yeah.
Derek's got a big trip coming up that he was telling us about. I've got a trip coming up soon.
Tomorrow.
But, as we were getting ready, there's just a lot of stress on this call.
Why?
Between technical issues, between Derek dealing with homeowner stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Gabs, I'm sure you got a lot going on. I got a lot going on. I feel like the stress level, just in general, was we're a little hot today.
I'm stressed.
I'll
I
tell you,
agree.
Gabs isn't talking to her mother, so let's get into that. They're not talking
yeah.
right now.
Oh, my
family
goodness.
drama. I respect my mother. I'm just setting some healthy boundaries.
Oh.
Okay.
We
That sounded a
got
lot
real.
worse than
I
it
was just
actually
kidding.
is.
We just got, you didn't have to get real.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like today we just got to make sure there's an extra fun show because there's a lot of steam that needs to be blown off. Gabs
Yes.
and Mama Gabs are not talking. Cameron just just returned to port from being God knows where for the last week out in the high seas.
Lost at
Derek
sea.
is under his family. He can't even stay at his house because of a massive renovation incident. And I just feel like we
No. What happened is I had a refrigerator leak 7 months ago, and I'm still not whole yet. So I finally get to the place where they're like, oh, okay, we're going to sand and refinish your floors and you're going to be back to normal. Cool. My family's in an Airbnb for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We eating Cheetos and all that, staying up till God knows what time of night. I'm like, okay, kids, we're going back home. I get back home. I look at my floor and my floor has acne. So no, it's bumpy. Yes. The whole floor looks like a 12-year-old going through puberty. That's what my floor looks like.
I don't understand how this is possible. What is that?
I don't either. How do you give the floor acne?
Wood zits. I don't even know.
Like how does
Did they
my floor
not,
have
like-
wood zits? Huh?
Did they not run it by you? Did they not send pictures of during the process or that
Oh
you saw
no,
what was
they're
going on?
like, yo, so we're ready to paint the trim tomorrow. So I go by, I say, hold on, let me go check the floor out. So I go check the floor and I'm like, dog, I just start sending them pictures like, bro, like there's a hair over here.
Oh,
There's
no.
acne over here.
Oh, no.
Like, and it's cemented into the floor. Nobody wants to come home at dinner and then you look down and you see a hair
Oh,
like
my.
cemented into your floor.
Oh, my.
Like, I don't want to see that. Whatever. Like, I'm like, dog, y'all gotta fix this,
Look.
homie. Like, this ain't it.
I've learned that you can tell within about 10 minutes of someone arriving at your home to do a project, whether you picked a reputable service or not. I one time, a couple summers ago, I had a minor issue with a pool light that I needed resolved. And listen, I'm not the type to mess with electricity and water twice. Okay. If I break it one time, I'm calling in who I'm presuming are the professionals. As soon as these clowns get there, I'm looking out the window and they're just kind of walking around the pool light situation. It looks like the first time they've ever seen a pool, much less a pool light. They then come and knock on the door and they're like, sir, do you have any goggles that we could borrow? I'm like,
no.
Goggles? Like, you guys don't have goggles? Like, that seems like a pretty critical. They're wearing jeans. They're not even in, like, they ended up going in like a bin of pool toys wearing my daughter's Barbie goggles. Okay. These are grown men.
Oh my goodness gracious.
One of them takes
You had
his
to
shirt
snap
off.
that for TikTok,
One
bro.
of them takes his shirt off. The other one is holding his feet so he can lean under the water with the Barbie goggles.
No.
I knew immediately, and they took, no lie, in the first hour, at least 6 vape breaks. And I realized at that point I may not have licensed pool
That is
people.
so not okay.
Did they just change the light bulb or something? Because when I moved into this house, I changed it from the old school pool light to like one of those LED lights that can color change and it's way lower power. I just YouTubed how do you change a pool light, because I was like you, scared of water and electricity, and learned how to do it. It took 5 minutes. It's not a big deal.
Listen.
That's terrifying.
These guys didn't turn to YouTube until day 2 of the project. The first day,
Day 2
was a lot of inspections and walking around and vaping. Day 2, YouTube came out, and they were on my personal computer trying to crack this nut. So,
fam, that ain't
Did
that
you
ain't
say
it, bro.
anything, Jesse? Did you say like, hey, how's this going?
I'm like, you guys don't have goggles. Like, what equipment do you have? Like, it seems like the one critical thing you would need is to be able to see the light that you're going to be working on. And I don't know how we found these people. It's the last time I turned to Craigslist for another home project. You want to save a buck? This is what
Craigslist. Yeah, man, we have a lot of travel going on. But when people hear this, it'll be after you're here. But Jesse, tomorrow you're coming to Orlando and we're all going to see each other. We're going to hang out and just, I don't know if people understand timelines, but we are recording this the day before the NBA draft. Tomorrow night,
That's right.
Jesse and Gabs and I and Emily we're all going to the NBA draft party in downtown Orlando. It's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be a good time. And then you're hanging out for a few days.
Dang.
And then
you asked me to come down for that, Cameron.
I know
I know.
we should have.
know.
Why didn't we?
No, he did. No, he
Okay.
asked me to come down.
I know.
I'm going to Puerto Rico. So
Yeah.
Priorities.
yeah.
I'm projected to go in the mid-3rd round, Derek. So me and Cameron will let you know. We'll let you know.
Oh, that's your
where-
room.
Mid
Green
third
room.
round for what? What position are
draft.
you going to play?
Huh?
No, I'm saying you're projected. What
Player
Jesse
coach,
said he's
player
in the
coach,
draft.
player coach, trainer. It's I check a lot of boxes
For the Flint Tropics.
Yeah, owner Jackie Moon. It's pretty special what's happening tomorrow.
Yeah,
night.
I was just in the islands last week where Derek's going. It's beautiful down there. You can have a great time, Derek. Then I just got a call last night. So Jesse and I are going to Las Vegas in a couple of weeks for NBA Summer League. Like that's our annual tradition minus COVID. Like we have determined for the rest of our lives, we're going to do this. And so we're doing that. But then Derek, I know you're going. Are you going to Kenya later this year? Is it Kenya or Nigeria?
Nigeria.
I'm going to,
Yep.
as of yesterday, I'm going to Kenya in a week or so. I'm going for a week and I'm flying after being in Nairobi. I'm flying from Nairobi to Las Vegas. I mean, like it's going to be quite a week, but I'm going with World
lot.
Vision.
Oh man.
It's going to be it's actually a really heavy trip. What we've been learning is that World Vision, who we've partnered with and we love, is actually the implementer of a lot of global programs that people don't even know about. So like if Charity Water is building a well, if you look at the pictures, it's actually 90% of the time World Vision water crews building the actual well, right? And so World Vision will implement. Well, one of the things that they do all over Africa is they implement the World Food Program's distribution of where food is needed. And who is the number one supplier of wheat and grain to the World Food Program? The Ukraine. And so the breadbasket of Europe, Ukraine wheat fields, obviously are cut off right now because of the war. And people are aware of like food shortages in Europe. But the story that's not being told is the millions of people that are on the verge of starvation because there's no food for Africa. And so we're going to Kenya for a week to be on the front lines and kind of see the human toll of the war that's not being talked about. And so that's going to be, so I'm flying from that directly to Las Vegas. Like I'm the whiplash, emotional whiplash that I'm going to have in 48 hours is I don't know that I'm ready for, but anyway.
And it's crazy. Like I've been doing a lot of, you guys know I'm really into economics and finance. And I remember there's a video I was watching with this guy. He's really crazy trader, economist. And he said, the last time there was a grain shortage of this magnitude, we got the Arab Spring. He's like, last time there was a grain shortage of this magnitude, that's what happened, because those areas are very, 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 very dependent on, grain and rice from and when that gets cut off, what does anybody do when they're hungry? It creates anger, it creates war and strife. So I'm hoping that we can get a resolution to this Ukraine-Russian conflict really quick, just for the sake of the world, because we're in America, richest country in the world. But if we're suffering and struggling with inflation, just imagine what some of the poorer countries around the world are going to be dealing with.
What is World Vision's, I guess, part of that, will be, kind of observe on the trip, but what is their solution should the conflict continue to the extent that it affects, global grain output? I
will learn that answer in about a week. Like, honestly, gotcha. I think the crisis is so new that, I'm going with the president of World Vision. Like, he's going to learn and see it for himself, so I think we're on the very front end of this crisis, and it's actually organizations trying to figure out right now, what do we do? And so hopefully we'll get some answers when we're on the ground there. Working with, obviously listening to local leaders and that's the whole key, is just going and listening and learning what they're saying they need. So partnering with them in the right way and not handing them our solutions. Right. So, and then, so let's see, after Summer League, I'm road tripping up the East Coast to come hang out with Jesse up in Virginia. Hey, Derek, I can pick you up on the way if you want to come up to Virginia Beach for a couple days. We're going to do that. And then
let's see, I'm doing that.
Third week in July.
Plenty of room at the crib. We got a functioning pool light. We have extra room.
Let's do it. And then I'm going to New York later to see Kendrick Lamar at Barclays Center in first week in August. And then I'm going to Colorado after that. But here's my point. This is the summer of Cameron. I am traveling. I'm saying yes to life again for the first time in years. I am excited. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing friends. And I haven't traveled in so long. It's been great.
Everyone needs those kind of summers where you're actually enjoying it, especially coming out of, last couple of years that we've all been experiencing.
Yeah. Holy cow.
It is hot Cameron summer is what he said. He said it's hot Cameron summer.
That's exactly what he's saying.
Done. Hey, drinking water, working out every day, even on the cruise. I worked out on the cruise. Hey. Come on now. Who does that?
Let's go.
Y'all made fun of that water jug. You guys made fun of that water jug, but
Gabs is the one who bought it for me as a Christmas present one year.
Yeah. Cameron was doing open water swimming every day on the cruise. It was pretty impressive.
Look, listen, that water jug, I don't know if y'all know this, but have y'all ever seen those big fruit punch jugs that you get for the kids? Like that's what it looks like. It's like a big
oh my goodness, punch. You're right. Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're so right.
I'm drinking a gallon of water a day.
time,
That joint is
thinking-
huge.
at the time, I was
The
just
high
thinking
C.
this man needs this. Needs to drink some water.
Hold on.
In between all these trips, I need to hydrate, because I couldn't bring this jug on the cruise because it's too big. It wouldn't fit my luggage. So I didn't get my gallon a day.
It was
Ridiculous.
either that
Ridiculous.
or luggage. Yeah.
If I almost cut the top off and just packed inside of the jug, like put clothes in it, and just. But,
Wow. Okay, this is going too far. This is too much.
All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you today.
Like a
Coming up
wine
later.
press jug.
Just a jug of socks.
We have a great show in store for you. Coming up later, we have a conversation with one of our favorite worship artists, Naomi Raine from Maverick City Music. She is highlighted in this podcast because she's also the cover story of the summer digital issue of Relevant, which, depending on when you're listening to this, is either coming out on Monday. If you're a Relevant Plus subscriber, you're hearing this early. Or if you're hearing this in the public edition, it is out today. The issue released on Monday. So, go check out the cover story we have with Naomi, but you can hear part of that conversation coming up later on today's podcast. Now, normally on an issue release episode, we would be telling you all about the current issue. We're actually going to do that on next episode. We have a packed show today, so we're going to take a few minutes on the next episode and tell you all about the summer issue of Relevant. But Naomi is joining us today. It's a great preview of everything else in the issue, so make sure you don't miss that.
I think I met you in a dream. The way you move is like a distant memory. I think I met you in a dream. It feels so real to me. Another place, another time. Here we are in a back of my mind.
You're listening to Coin. The song is I Think I Met You in a Dream. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Tim Tebow's book, Look Again. Have you ever wondered what would change if you truly believed you were infinitely valuable to God? In his New York Times bestselling book, Look Again, Tim Tebow reveals the powerful truth that when we learn to see the image of God in every person, including those we struggle to love, everything changes. Tebow shares incredible stories from his work with people the world often overlooks, and it will challenge you to stand up to the lies, rediscover the worth that everyone has, and impact the world for good. Find Look Again by Tim Tebow, available now wherever books are sold. It's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Please welcome to the show our very own Emily Brown, downtown Emily Brown. Tyler, who normally brings the buzz, is over in Paris, and he is currently in an interview with one of his favorite groups, Mountain Goats. So he asked if Emily could join us, and we said, of course, we like her better anyway. So there you go. Emily, you're bringing the buzz today. Tell us what's happening.
That's a
at the
huge
intersection.
upgrade. Huge upgrade.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week.
Okay, no pressure apparently. All right, well, I actually have some really exciting news to talk to y'all about. We talk honestly a little too much about billionaires and how they're terrible at spending their own money on this podcast, but finally a billionaire is doing something really good. Mark Cuban, who is the owner of the Dallas Mavs and is a Shark Tank investor, he has recently started a company called Cost Plus Drugs Company, or just Cost Plus. And their goal is to make prescription drugs actually affordable, which is huge because if you've ever had to buy maybe kind of like reoccurring prescription drugs, it can cost a lot of money with or without insurance. And so the way that his company works is he said they show you the actual cost, they mark it up 15%, they add a $3 pharmacy handling fee and $5 shipping, and that's it. It's very simple, and they wanted to be totally transparent with it. And it started a few months ago, and in those few months, so many customers have come out saying that this company has saved them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on their like monthly medications. And it's just really incredible.
I've seen examples. Some people saying they have like certain, like, I don't want to say diabetes or whatever, but some disease, and their medication was like a couple $1,000s a month, and they couldn't afford it. And going over to this program, it went to like $60.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like changes their life. It's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Like people will spend like there was someone who said they normally spent $300 for 1 month of medication. It's $25 through his company. And even like treatment for there was one the drug for leukemia that can cost. It said it would cost around $9,000 a month. And through Cost Plus, they pay $47 a month for their medication.
That's
what
crazy.
a blessing that somebody finally did this.
Mark
So
Cuban.
do they basically like manufacture generic versions of drugs whose like I guess patents have already sort of come up from
they don't have
I guess other drug
have
companies?
every drug available. They are limited on that. But they just they try to develop the drugs and show them this is what it actually costs, and we're just going to charge you for that. We're not going to charge you for all these hidden fees. Like, it's insane to see this, and I want to know why are people being charged thousands of dollars and he's only charging $47, you know?
Agreed.
So I mean, that is the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can. Yeah.
Because they can. And so it's just really incredible. But yes, you know, they don't have every drug. And you also, if you do have insurance, you know, not every drug is scamming you. So it may not be beneficial to switch over necessarily if you have insurance. But if you don't have insurance or you don't have a high deductible that you reach, this would be a really great alternative for you. And I just love this. Like, I think this is a very big problem, and I love that someone's actually trying to meet this problem and doing what they can. And they don't even spend money on advertisement because they don't even want to have to pull money for that. Like, all of the money is just going to making the drugs as cheap as possible. So they're really just using word of mouth, which is why I'm really excited to share this, because I want all of our listeners to know that if you need prescription drugs, check out this website, see if it works for you. And hopefully this can be like an answered prayer to so many people.
It's interesting that, you know, this is another example of like, you know, someone, you know, not only finding something that seems like objectively a moral good for, you know, that is going to have a positive impact on a lot of people's lives, particularly people who are suffering from, you know, serious illnesses. But it also kind of shows just like kind of outside the box thinking when it comes to looking at like market demand. Like, I remember it wasn't that long ago when like Warby Parker kind of was like, hey, why are eyeglasses just preposterously expensive? Like, they're almost prohibitively expensive. Is that all just baked in margin that is, you know, almost like this conspiracy sort of? Yeah. Well, then you saw the same thing happen with razors. Like, where if you go to the drugstore and want to buy Gillette razors, you're like $40 for 3
Why
razors?
is this locked?
Exactly.
Why is this locked up?
Yeah, they literally act like I'm trying to buy, you know, like a diamond ring when I'm trying to get a refill of, you know, something to shave with. Where then you saw these other kind of, you know, mail order razor companies come along and just cut the price. It's essentially the same thing. It's Mark Cuban, who has a lot more resources than, I guess, you know, some eyeglass and razor companies, saying, hey, there's a market demand for cheaper drugs, and there's a massive margin baked in from these pharmaceutical companies. What's preventing us from just going and offering a cheaper solution? You know, I think it seems like a good thing from a business perspective, as well as obviously the moral benefit of providing people with medicines that they need.
It's awesome. I love highlighting this. It's great. What else is going on?
So in some very different news, MindGeek, which is the company that owns Pornhub, they announced this week that 2 of their top executives are leaving.
This week in Pornhub news.
Yeah. Sorry. Not what I thought. Not something I ever thought I would say.
I was like, I was like, I didn't expect that one.
I know.
I
Cameron
was
left
just
you
trying
out.
to just get to there.
But here we are.
You know what's funny? Hey, little behind the scenes, this is true. Like we run articles sometimes, like talking about, we were against porn,
Yes.
obviously. So talking about the mental health impacts or the societal impacts of porn, different things. We ran an article, something like, a shocking statistic that like the top 3 porn sites have more traffic than Netflix, Google, and so combined or whatever. This is the headline. And it said something about porn sites in the headline, right? We did this little news blurb a year ago.
Before I started working
Every
here.
week. Okay, a year and a half.
was.
A year every week in our analytics in the top 10 articles is this stupid old news article about these 3 porn sites that have more traffic than every other site in the world, right? Combined.
Mhm.
It is because all these little pervy people are out there Googling porn sites. And our article is coming up, and they think that they're going to a directory or a listing of really good porn sites, and they're coming to relevantmagazine.com.
Gotcha.
And it is still in our top 5 articles.
The SEO is working, baby.
Dude,
The SEO is working,
I'm going,
baby.
what other depraved people can we tap into to get some clickbait traffic?
The old bait and switch.
Like,
That's gold.
dude, it's like, hey, I just want to
Want some Jesus?
I'm going to put a call to salvation in that article, just right there. Like, you're here looking for porn.
Do
Let me
it.
tell you, the only thing that can satisfy you the way porn never could is Jesus Christ. Dude, that's going to be all we're going to publish from now on, man.
Let's
We
go,
gotta do what
baby.
we gotta do.
I love it.
Yeah.
This
I
is
love
true.
it.
It's going to be very effective means of evangelism.
It's a new tactic. No one's tapped into it yet, except for us.
Our site traffic spikes between 11:30 p.m. and 4 a.m. every night. I don't know.
Relax.
Oh my goodness.
Relax.
Gosh.
All right, Emily, what's the
Quite
actual
a
news?
Gosh. Okay. Well, Pornhub announced that 2 executives, the CEO and the COO, are leaving because there's been some new allegations coming out that the site has been really slow removing content involving non-consensual sexual content and content that involves minors. So a couple years ago, a lot of these advocacy groups came out just saying a lot of your content was not consensual and these people are not of age. And Pornhub has they said that they would address it and that they would remove content, but it just seems like they are still kind of dragging their feet because they don't want to take content down, obviously, but we definitely want all of that content down. So that it was announced this week that the leadership will be changing. So I am very interested to see how new leadership will do, if that will help fix this problem, if it'll just create new problems. We don't really know, but we definitely are going to keep an eye on it and kind of.
It seems like if you're a high integrity executive, you're not going to be like applying for that opening. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's like the type of leadership they're going to
That's
attract.
not true. I don't know I don't necessarily agree with that. What if a person comes in with a plan to kind of right the ship as best that they can?
Yeah, but if you're a high integrity executive level experienced person, you're not
I don't
looking for
think-
that job. You don't want that on your resume.
I feel like the job interview, like the people showing up, it's basically going to be like an old episode of To Catch a Predator. Like those are the type of people applying for. What are you planning on doing during this interview tonight,
Dude,
sir?
maybe there's not even an opening. This is actually
Oh,
an elaborate
gosh.
ruse to gather people who would want that opening. You know what I'm saying? And
Why did
all
you
right,
show up to the interview with Mike's Hard Lemonade, sir? Yeah.
oh man.
Relax.
All right, so don't go on.
Thank you, Emily.
Don't go on Indeed.com searching up any openings over there. Anyway, all right. Well, anything else?
Yes, I have some more news. I'm not sure how to transition this either, so I'm just going to go right into it. How many of you here have read or at least heard of East of Eden?
Out of Eden, the '90s Christian R&B group.
No,
I know that
East
one.
of Eden, a little different.
The book, right?
Yes, John Steinbeck's classic. Okay, well, first off, put that on your reading list because it's a great book. If you ask Tyler, it's his like all-time favorite novel. So if you love Tyler, you might need to read this book. So I won't give away the plot. I'm gonna try to come up with a summary. It's basically like an American version of the book of Genesis. And it follows these 2 families and their decisions that they're making in Northern California, I think in the 1800s. But it was just announced that there will be a movie adaptation of it. written by Zoe Kazan, who did 2018's Wildlife, which was great. And Florence Pugh will be starring in it. And I personally think that anything Florence Pugh is in is incredible. I think she's one of the best actresses of my generation. So I'm very excited to see her take on this role. She is actually playing kind of the anti-hero, Kathy. So it'll be interesting to see. She's gonna get a little spicy.
Ooh.
It'll be good. But there was a movie made in the 50s, and it was actually directed by the grandfather of the writer for this version. So, it's, the movie, the book itself is about the generations of families. So it's interesting that this family and, generations later is recreating this story. But it's a really great story. I really suggest it for anybody to read it. You have plenty of time to check it out before the movie comes out. So add it to your list.
Awesome. There you go. Are you a read the book before seeing the movie person?
I think I would like to be honest, no. I'll watch the movie and then decide if I want to read the book.
If it's good.
If the movie's good, I'll go read the book. If the movie was not good, I'm out.
Look, if the movie's good, I'll go read the Wikipedia about the book. That's where
Exactly.
The Spark Note.
Spark note it.
So I can tell people, so I can join conversations, people who've actually read the book. Yeah.
I did that a lot in high school. I'm trying to.
I was about to say that, Emily.
I would read.
Yeah.
I read probably half the books I was assigned, but I can verbatim tell you the Wikipedia page because that was most of what I read.
That's crazy. You'd think that your instructors also went to Wikipedia to kind of see which people. Anyway. Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. That's Relevant Buzz. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every day as part of your web browsing and follow us on all the socials for the latest. Thanks, Emily.
All right. Bye, guys.
Stay tuned. Up next, Naomi Raine joins us. You're listening to Foles. The song is Crest of the Wave. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by John Mark Comer's book, Garden City, a book that speaks to the tension we all feel between work, rest, and purpose. The New York Times bestselling author John Mark Comer takes us to the scriptures to identify what it really means to be human and flips the script on the idea that who you are matters, not what you do. He shows that God created us for meaningful work and meaningful rest. Both matter. This book helps you ask and answer the big questions. Does God care where I work? Is there a direction for my life? So you can discern God's heart for your calling, your rhythms, and the way His Spirit wants to shape every part of your life. If you're longing for purpose and a more grounded way to live, check out the new hardcover edition of Garden City wherever books are sold. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Erwin McManus's book, The Barbarian Way. Some books don't just inspire you, they confront you. The Barbarian Way, now celebrating its 20th anniversary, is one of those books. If you felt the pull of God towards something deeper and wilder than the safe, predictable version of faith that we settle for, McManus reminds us that following Jesus was never meant to be tame. It's meant to awaken courage, passion, and purpose God placed inside us. He draws from the wild stories of Abel, Noah, Moses, Rahab, and others to remind us that following God wasn't meant to be tame. Safe faith isn't working. Step into the story God is writing for you. Choose passion, choose boldness, choose the barbarian way. Available now wherever books are sold. Well, our guest today is Naomi Raine. She's a worship leader with Maverick City Music who's venturing out on her own with her upcoming solo debut album, Journey. Naomi sat down with our very own downtown Emily Brown to discuss her decision to do something different from Maverick City and how she hopes opening up about her battle with depression will have a positive impact for others. Here's our conversation with Naomi Raine.
I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. I'm already loved more than I could imagine. And that is enough.
Obviously, you're very passionate about worship music. So I would just love to know, how did, have you always been very passionate about worship music? Was there a specific moment? What's the story behind your connection?
Okay. When I started doing music, I started writing. I started writing at the age of 7. My parents are singers. They're worship leaders. My dad's a pastor now, but I grew up in music and my parents are artists. And so I grew up just writing regular songs. It wasn't like worship music, but because of my private time with the Lord, I've always had just devotion time and just singing to him and just being real. After I had my daughter, I started to work in a church and I was a choir director, and they had asked me to sing some songs at the beginning of the service. And so that was praise and worship. It was in a Presbyterian church. They weren't used to praise and worship. But as I began to sing these songs, there was just this overflow of worship and praise. And it was prophetic, and it was deep, and it was big. And I didn't even know what was happening. I wasn't used to that. So I like to say that I've always been a worshiper, right? That's always been in me from the beginning. But the songwriting has always been super artisty, if that makes sense, and not very much worship songs. So I had released some songs probably in 2016. No, I want to say 2015. Released some songs, and they weren't worship songs. But when I would go places and sing them, they'd be like, "Nay, you always end up in worship. How did you get here?" It's no matter what I sang, I was going to end up just like, "Jesus, we love you," And I am really super passionate because I think God is just so good. He's really good. And anytime I get a chance to sing about his goodness, I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to act like I'm in heaven and sing it forever. You won't get to shut me up.
That's right. That's right. I love that. And you actually have a solo song coming out very soon called Not Ready.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? What is the song about and where did it come from?
Yeah, Not Ready that's my baby right now. Not Ready is about a time that I'd gone through a depression, and I didn't even know I was depressed. But I knew I wasn't ready to change. I wasn't ready to do anything, but I knew I wanted to talk to the Lord because this is what I do. I'm just always going to talk to him. But I knew that usually when I feel like that, talking to the Lord, I'm ready to do whatever he tells me to do. But here I realized I'm not ready. I'm not ready to get out of the bed because I knew there were things that I had to do. I was staying in the bed all day. I was crying. I was waiting until right before my kids would come home. And then I was popping up and trying to act like everything was normal. I knew that I wasn't ready to stop doing that, but I needed to talk to the Lord. And I felt even in that moment, people do this all the time. We tell God, I don't want to pray, or I don't know what to pray. And we're literally, once you're talking to God, you're actually praying, you're already doing it. But I think that we sometimes think that we have to pray and say certain things and know what to say and be ready to do whatever he says. And the Lord was like, "Hey, I don't need you to try to change anything. I just need you to keep talking to me. I'm going to pull you out of this pit." And as I continued to talk to the Lord, that's what happened. And right at the end of that, like when I was transitioning and getting out, like the sun was starting to shine again, I was like, hey, I want to write a song about how I feel right now. I want to write an honest song. I don't want to write the song that says, yeah, God, you brought me out of the pit. Like, I don't want to write that one. I want to write the song that's like, man, this pit is really terrible, but accept the fact that you're here, Jesus, with me. And like, thank you for not trying to push me out too fast, that you're allowing me to feel the feelings that I've been afraid to feel for years, that I've been avoiding for years. Everything is coming back and I'm growing and changing and feeling the discomfort of this, but thank you that you're with me. And so that's what the song is about. It's not a buttoned up, like put a big bow on it, like Christian song. And it doesn't resolve. It just says, I'm not ready to change. I don't feel good about it. I don't want to pray. But I know I should, but I'm not ready to change. And I think that is a message that I think most people can probably relate to. And I think it's why some people don't pray nowadays and don't go to the Lord and feel guilty and ashamed of where they are. But it's like, God wants to be with us. He says he's near to the brokenhearted. Like, this is the God that we serve, a smoldering wick he won't snuff out. So when you're at your lowest and your worst, he's like, I'm not going to just like get rid of you. That's not the God that we serve. He's with us. He's near. He's close. And yes, as you can see, I can go on about this for days.
I love it. It's great.
But if I tell the truth, I'm so afraid of truth. But I know it, and you know it. I know I need to pray, but I don't know how to say I'm not ready. I'm not ready to change. I want to trust in you, but if I told the truth, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to change.
What does that practically look like to kind of transition from that not ready season to that ready season? Because I think a lot of people, that's where they feel stuck, because they don't know, they know something needs to be done, but they don't know how to get there.
Yeah, I think it's admitting that to the Lord. I think it's good for us it's easier for us to admit that to one another. Like, I could tell my friend, I'm just stuck here in this right way. And, we can kind of commiserate and complain and be miserable. But I think there's something else when you start to really start to talk to the Lord about it, right? And you're starting to pray and say, hey, Lord, I'm not ready. I'm in this space. This is how I feel. This is what I'm going through. But when we start to do that, that's when I think things begin to change, because we're bringing him into our situation. We're actually, the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. I think that in all your ways, acknowledge him. We miss that piece in everything, even in my stuckness. I got to acknowledge him and he'll direct me. And it doesn't always happen as quickly as we want it to. But I think when we yield to him and bring it to him, I think there's the opportunity to begin to shift and change.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love that.
Together, but I feel like my world is falling apart. Just need a minute, just a second to catch up. I know I'm not finished, I just can't seem to get up. Help me remember all of the plans that we made when we were both on the same page,
How do you think Christians should balance like being honest about sin, but not like saying it's okay,
I think, Jesus says, blessed are they that mourn, right? For they shall be comforted. And I think we believed that was about grief and somebody dying. That's not what it was about. It's about mourning over sin. I think that there should be a response to sin. And when things are not right, we should have a response. But I think in order to respond to it and to respond to it accurately or appropriately, then we should be able to acknowledge it. Like, you have to acknowledge that this exists. And I believe that what we try to do is overcorrect and go to like, I don't do this. And we hide. confess your sins one to another that you may be healed. If you don't confess, if everything becomes a secret, you start to stuff things down. You're not telling people and you can't get free. And so what actually happens is we create a culture of silence and secrecy so that people can't actually get free. And it's a false, it's a fake culture. It's a culture of fakeness that actually only breeds and begets more sin. I believe that when we're honest about it and say, hey, this is my struggle, then people can hold you accountable. You come into community, you come into discipleship. There's actually a track for growth. You can't do that when there's secrecy. And because of this secrecy culture, when somebody says, hey, I struggle with this, it's like, okay, well, you can't bring this one here or don't hang out with that one. And it's like, all right, it just promotes that secret culture, but then it's begetting more sin. It's a vicious cycle. I think we have to break that. I do think people need to, be trustworthy, right? And you can't tell everybody everything, but I think there's a way to see and view it and then honestly do what the word says about it and trust the Lord. Give some things to the Holy Spirit. Be filled with the Spirit that you don't gratify the lusts of the flesh. This is like basic stuff. We have the answers. We just don't know how to do it. And I think you do that by getting in community and walking with people and confessing to one another, not to a priest, but to one another, that people that are walking with you, that matters.
If this is a glimpse of heaven, I could get used to this. I could get used to this. The fragrance of your presence, I could get used to this. I could get used to this. Oh, if this is a glimpse.
That was Naomi Raine. Make sure to check out our cover story with her in the summer issue of Relevant. Depending on when you're listening to this, it's either coming out Monday or it's out now. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback. You're listening to Thank You, I'm Sorry. The song is Parliaments. All right, it's time for your feedback. Last week, I wasn't part of this. Last week, we asked you, in Top Gun Maverick, Jerry Lee Lewis's Great Balls of Fire brought a rowdy crowd together. What is your go-to sing-along song that would excite a crowd? You guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and here's a few of our favorite replies.
I want to start with Adam Davis because I think he misread the questions. Because we said excite a crowd, not incite a crowd. Because Adam suggested the song would be With Arms Wide Open by Creed. If you're ever in a bar and someone starts belting that out, the bar clears out, or you get thrown out of the bar, DJ Jazzy Jeff style, like Uncle Phil by the belt. You're just thrown right out into the street. There's no one's singing along to Creed. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Dude, I was on the cruise. Late night they'll have piano bars, they'll have whatever, and there was a guy with a guitar in the Irish pub. And I was eating a piece of pizza, and he was doing his singer-songwriter thing, and he was doing stuff, and then the crowd got a little, interactive and was asking him for requests, which was not his plan. Yeah. But somebody that wanted Wonderwall by Oasis, so he obliged, whatever. And then somebody yelled out a Creed song, and he literally went, no. I have never heard a person who works for tips say, I'm good. I'm not going to do that.
I said no.
Your money's no good here.
Really?
Yes.
So, correct answer.
So, I've not heard of most of these songs except for Don't Stop Believing.
Chris Wilson. There you
go.
That's the only one. Don't stop believing. Listen,
That'll get a crowd
I'll tell
going.
you one thing about it. If you throw that song on, that song is like the cha-cha slide for white people.
Dude.
Like black people, you throw the cha-cha slide on.
Yeah.
Or the electric slide is on. Don't Stop Believing. I don't care how mad white people are. If you throw that mug on, they're like, yeah.
You know what?
I love it.
The move is, though, I was at a Jay-Z concert, and in between the opening acts and Jay-Z coming out. They're just, playing music. They were playing stuff like that. They played Don't Stop Believin' before Jay-Z came out because they're not going to play hip hop or whatever. They want to like mix up the vibe and just, dude, it was great. The crowd was so into it, like everybody's singing along.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's
that
like we're in a
song
baseball
right there,
game.
man. You cannot be mad at that song.
No one said this, but the other one that people just stop what they're doing is "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond.
No question.
Touching me
Every
People
night
will
at the
sing-
piano
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
Every night at the piano bar,
Yeah.
I heard that song.
It brings it down, and they just run it back. They play it like 3 times in a row. Just keep.
Dang it! That's gonna be stuck in my head now. That song is gonna be stuck in my head. Also, wait.
That means you're gonna
Derek,
have a
you
great
said-
day. Is what that means.
Totally. Derek, you said you never heard the rest of these songs. What about Country Roads? You've never heard that?
What is it?
Nah.
Isn't
one
that
time
the
in my
song
life.
that's like
John Denver.
Country Road, take me home?
Sing it,
Yes,
Gabs.
John
How's it
Denver,
go,
man.
Gabs? Tell us.
It goes, Country Road, take me home. That's like how it
I don't
goes.
know if I
through.
want to hear it.
That sounds like on the deathbed, like begging for help.
I saw a whole list of songs. I'm like, I don't know any of these. Where's the cha-cha slide? Where's the electric slide? Where is my love? Do you ever dream of? Like, where is that? Where's the
Raindrops. You're
That's
my
what I'm looking
you're
for.
my-
I'm like, look, you throw that on. It's a rap. You know what I'm saying?
Derek, who's the
I don't-
artist? What's the artist behind Cha Cha Slide? Because I've heard it, untold every wedding I've ever been to.
I don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
And that artist is probably one of the wealthiest artists ever to live, just from like wedding DJ residuals. The great thing is the dance instructions are right in the song. It's hard to mess that up. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's more where that came from. Go check them out over on the Relevant Podcast Twitter account. Okay, it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
All right. Well, earlier in the show, we got talking about Derek's woodsits and the frustrations that come with contractors that don't, maybe treat your living area with the respect and care that it deserves. So we want to know your worst, either contractor or landlord maintenance issue, repair issue stories. We've all had horror stories of, people that are supposed to get the job done right and they did not. So hit us up. Let us know yours. You can contact us on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or we'll post this also over on the Relevant Magazine IG poll as well. All right. We'll read our favorites next week. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank Naomi Raine for joining us today. Make sure to check out the cover story with her and the summer digital issue of Relevant. It's available now, again, depending on when you're listening to this. If you're listening to it on Monday, it released today. You can go find it at relevantmagazine.com. Just click on the magazine tab. The ad-supported edition is available for free, thanks to our sponsor, World Vision, who's presenting the issue. And the Relevant Plus edition, which is ad-free and enhanced and perfectly situated for mobile devices and tablets, that's available now for Relevant Plus subscribers. You can find it there in your account dashboard, the link for your edition. Go check it out. And then, like I mentioned, we will be telling you all about the summer issue in the next episode of this podcast. But if you want to look ahead, go check it out for yourself at the site. Okay. Hey, while you're at the site, make sure to also peruse our daily devotional series, Deeper Walk, which is presented by Lumo. There's a morning devotional email you can sign up for, or you can just check out each weekday's devotional in the faith section at our website. Also, make sure you're following Relevant on all the socials to get the latest that we're putting out and all the stories we're producing every day. It's a great way to stay in touch. We're on Twitter, Facebook, of course, Instagram, and occasionally on TikTok. Yeah, it's a good follow. Check it out. All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Martin.
I'm Gabrielle Griffin.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine, A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Just a jug of socks.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.